You came here alone, and you will leave alone. Maybe not from this place, maybe not from this world, but eventually you will no longer belong here. Take heed, you who trespass, as the woods do not forgive, but they do not punish needlessly. Just moments before you were alive, moving in a direction you thought you wanted to. But look at you now, stuck in this maze, all alone. No help will come, and no rescue exists. The only salvation you will ever find is your own death. Death is an easy way out. It is surrendering to your fate and proclaiming you're too weak to forge your own destiny. But you are different, aren't you? You do not kowtow in front of the unknown force. You strive to conquer it and make it yours. Or, at the very least, you remove it from your path, because no obstacle shall be in between you and your goals. What are your goals anyway? Long time ago you were certain you knew where you wanted to go. But now everything seems so meaningless, so mundane. And doing everything alone makes the journey even more depressing. Knowing all this, you persist. You still grasp at every faint source of warmth and light, even though you have no clue why. Even without direction and meaning, you still want to be. But without memories, what are you? You have no past, and just by clinging to the present, it doesn't mean you will get the future. None are entitled to the future, not even gods. And if gods are bound to dissipate into meaninglessness, why do you care? Why are you struggling so much? Why don't you just let it go and be at peace? The sweet words of a devil whisper in your ear, drawing you to the nearest tree. It looks so warm, so motherly. You could almost hug it, and maybe, just maybe, you should. But you know better than that. You do not go around hugging trees. You know your inner senses never betray you, and that the devil, he is to blame. He is the one spewing lies and guiding you to the nearest cliff. You snap out of it, finding yourself on the cold, hard floor. It would be so easy to lie down here and let it go, to let the wood get soaked with your blood, to let your lips go dry, and to let your skin shrivel up and die. Future never looked so close. It was never this tempting, blending the past and the future through the misery of now. But you can't do that. You can't blend your past and your future, for you have no past to speak of, and therefore no future to hope for. You only have the now, and nothing else. A table leg and a lockpick, a broken jaw and a missing tooth, a flame and a moth, and enough gasoline to burn it all. But you don't have such luck. Your present is so pitch black that even all the gasoline in the world wouldn't make the fire big enough to illuminate your dark soul. The woods stretch out before you like a twisted labyrinth of dead branches and roots, each one harboring a sinister intent. The branches weep under the weight of your every step, as though they bear witness to your struggle, as if they are more alive than you. They lean closer, whispering things you don't understand, but you feel their eyes upon you. Cacophony of noise, a court of despair. The trail you followed vanished long ago, erased by the very same forest you wish to conquer. There is no going back, only forward, into the future that doesn't exist. The wind howls in your ears, not as a friend offering guidance, but as a tormentor mocking your every breath. It whistles through the branches, carrying with it voices, faint, distant voices. Were they your memories once, maybe? Or maybe they're merely fragments of this living nightmare, echoes of travelers who came before you and never returned. Your chest tightens as you try to remember, but your mind is blank, scrubbed clean of anything that could tether you to who you once were. The present is a heavy chain, dragging you down with every step, yet you trudge forward as if you still believe there's a destination, as if there is a meaning waiting for you, maybe, just maybe, around the next corner. Your muscles ache, your feet stumble over roots and stones. The ground beneath you feels as if though it shifts, playing tricks on you. You pause, leaning against the trunk of a tree, its bark cold and rough against your skin. For a moment, it feels like you're melding with it, as if the forest is absorbing you into its ancient, darkened heart. Maybe it is. Maybe you've been part of this all along, and you've only now become aware of it. Maybe now, only now, you're realizing it. A piece of the woods lost among the rest, yet still pretending you're something separate. The darkness around you deepens, the fading light of the day swallowed whole by the ever-hungry night. With every passing second, the shadows draw closer, not just around you, but within you. It feels as if they're seeping into your bones, into your thoughts, filling the void left by your missing past. Is this what you are now? Just a vessel for the darkness? You laugh, though the sound is hollow and dry, barely escaping your throat. There's something funny about it all, the absurdity of it, the dance with oblivion. Then comes a flicker. Not of hope, hope died long ago, but of curiosity. Even when there's nothing left, when every purpose has crumbled, curiosity persists. A glimmer in the depths of the void, daring you to keep moving, to keep searching for answers you may never find. You push off the tree and keep walking, not because you expect to escape, but because stopping would mean surrendering. And despite everything, despite the hopelessness that weighs on your soul, you refuse to surrender. The trees part slightly, revealing a clearing ahead. In the center stands a stone structure, ancient and crumbling, half swallowed by vines and moss. It looks like a tomb, or perhaps a shrine, though whatever it once honored has long since been forgotten. The air here is different, thicker, charged with something you can't quite place. The hairs on your arms rise as you approach, drawn not by a conscious decision, but by some invisible pull. The closer you get, the more palpable it becomes, this feeling that something waits for you inside. You stand before the entrance, a black mouth in the stone, daring you to step inside. It's not an invitation, it's a challenge. Something deep within you stirs, that old spark of defiance that refuses to be extinguished no matter how close you come to the edge. You take a breath, your lungs filling with the damp, heavy air, and step forward. The darkness inside swallows you whole. At first, you see nothing, hear nothing, but a faint echo of your own breath. Then, gradually, your eyes adjust, and you see a corridor leading deeper into the earth. You move slowly. The coldness here is different from the outside world, more oppressive, as if it's trying to seep into your very being. You don't know what drives you forward. Curiosity, defiance, or perhaps the sheer absurdity of your situation. But you continue, step after step, until the corridor widens into a chamber. In the center of the chamber stands an altar, ancient and cracked, with symbols carved into its surface. Symbols you don't recognize. But that stirs something deep within you. A memory? A dream? It doesn't matter. You approach the altar, your fingers brushing the surface of the stone. There's something beneath it, a small wooden box. You lift it carefully, though you're not sure why. The lid cracks as you open it, revealing something unexpected. A mirror, small and simple. You lift it, staring into its depths, and for the first time, you see yourself. The face staring back is unfamiliar. Not because it's someone else's, but because it's yours. And yet, it isn't. The eyes are hollow, the skin pale, as though you've already begun to fade. And yet, there's something in those eyes, something that refuses to die. The spark, the defiance. You are still here. You are still fighting. But fighting for what? You walk into the night, the darkness wrapping around you like an old familiar cloak. You came here alone, and you will leave alone. But the journey continues, even if you don't know where it leads. Because that's the way of things. That's how it has always been, and how it always will be.